Good morning, guys. This is your cryptocurrency report. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, first thing we're going to get into is today is Wednesday, August 15th, 2018. And we're going to get right in and open the charts right here. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is Bitstamp. And we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price today. It's $6,392. Well, no, 63.85. Sorry. Anyway, $6,385. Now, what do we notice here is yesterday or the day before we come to a bottom of 58.80, and she turned and she's went back up again. She's meandering her way back up with a few little downturns, but overall she's going back up. If you take a look, we'll zoom on out here a little bit slowly, and we'll see there was the bottom, and now she's making her way back up again. So it made the bottom at 58.80. Now it seems like there's kind of a wall. Let me go to the 12-hour and show you. There's kind of a wall down here, a floor underneath Bitcoin right now, and it's tested that floor several times. Ever since we had the fall from $19,666, it's tested that floor several times. I'll tell you what I think in all of this. I think that this bear market, there's been no real exact reason for it other than Bitcoin went up so fast it found itself in territory where it was overpriced. Simply put, it overpriced itself. It ran away with itself a little bit. It got a little bit ahead of itself, which it often does, and now it's come back down to earth again. And for those people out there that say it's going to go to nothing and stuff, well, that's just foolish talk. But now it's come back down to earth, and it's tested. It's put a floor underneath the price so far, and it's tested that floor a few times, but it hasn't broke through it. I've put a 50-50 chance of it breaking through that floor and going to a lower level. But when we're talking about a lower level there, we're not talking about it going down to zero or going. In fact, I don't think you'll ever see it below $4,000 again. I think that that it could break through this and go to a little bit lower level. But we're talking more like 5,200 or something probably, or 4,900 or something like that if it did break through. And of course, that would present another buying opportunity. But I would give it a 50-50 chance of doing that. There's another 50% chance that I haven't been talking about, and this is that the bear market ends very soon and Bitcoin price starts to roar and heat up again. There is a 50% chance of that happening. And of course, if Bitcoin heats up again, we're probably talking about it going up over $10,000, $15,000 even. And the thing about that is you stand to make a lot more money than you stand to lose if Bitcoin breaks through and goes to the downside. Its downside potential is not as great as its upside potential. It's just a simple math. You know what I mean? And so, but it's a risky venture because right now I'm saying about a 50-50 chance of it breaking through and going to the downside. So what the smart money would do would be to buy some now and buy some more later when the price goes down lower, if it does go down lower, and hold on for dear life. That's what the smart money's going to do right now on all of this. But she could break down lower, and if it does, and you buy right now, be prepared to lose maybe when it's at its lowest ebb. If you sell, you're going to incur your losses. In other words, if you bought right now and it goes down, it does break down, it goes at 50, it does take that course of 50%, what I've given 50% chance on, and it does go to the lower level. Say it goes down to 5,500 or it goes down to even 4,900. If you sell at 4,900, then you've incurred your loss. But if you hang on, Then when the price goes back up again, you can just forget about the little bit of period of time when it went down low, and you can just put that out of your mind. And when the price goes back up again, then you're a happy camper. Now, you'll only incur your losses if you actually sell it when you get the lowest price. That's not the smart thing to do. Let's move on to cryptocurrency market capitalizations today. And what we're looking at is Bitcoin at 53.6%. It's lost just a tad of its dominance there. The Bitcoin market cap now has went back up over $200 billion. We're back up to $205 billion. Some of the altcoins are picking up on this, and they're moving upwards. We're looking at let's see, Litecoin at 55 bucks. That's a great price for Litecoin. Now, I want to say something about these coins. The coins that are going to make it are going to fit in one of three or maybe four categories. And there's going to be a top coin in each one of those categories. Top coins in each one of those categories. And now, one of the categories is a savings. Money. The category of money. The category of being the best money and the best savings. Bitcoin and Litecoin, they take that category. They have from the start. That's what they were created for. Bitcoin is gold and Litecoin is silver. They imitate gold and silver. And so they cover that. Okay? Now, the next thing is smart contracts and stuff like that. Well, there's coins that are fighting it out for that position, you know, the smart contract position. And they're in there right now, and they're fighting it out who's going to be the leader of the smart contract position. So that's one area that's going to be covered. Money transfers. There's coins that are suited for that, like XRP, and they're going to duke it out. And in the end, we're going to boil it down to where there's going to be certain coins that are going to be the big winners that follow certain themes. Now, there's another theme that people are not noticing. And I'm going to tell you, there's going to be winning coins in this theme. And this is the theme of being able to transfer the coin and nobody can see your transaction. Okay? That's going to be a very important theme in the future for these coins. I'm looking at a coin right here that's a professional at this, at being able to transfer funds without you being able to see them. And that's the coin Monero, and that's the coin we're going to talk about today. We're going to go here to the Monero website. And Monero is a coin that's been around, I guess, since 2014. It's a fantastic coin. Well, let's go back to cryptocurrency market capitalizations, and let's focus in on Monero. It's right here. It's ranked number 10. It's coin number 10. It's $88 today. I mean, that's just fantastic. Anytime you see a price for Monero that's under 100, it's a really good price for Monero. Of course, Monero was even lower yesterday, 6% lower. But still, it's still at a good price even today. And it's ranked number 10. And the thing that makes Monero special is the fact that Monero can transfer across the internet, transfer money, and you can't see where it's going. And this is going to be a very popular thing in the future. It's going to be one of the themes that these coins cover, one of the aspects that these coins cover. So it's going to find its place. And Monero is probably, I can't say for certainty, but it's probably going to be one of the coins that make it into the new system of money. This is the new system of money. I believe personally that all of the wealth in the entire world is going to be transferred over into cryptographic money. And this is the money of the new world. And when that happens, it's going to happen relatively fast. And these coins are positioning themselves to catch all of the world's wealth. They're positioning themselves. And each coin has its own use position, has a use. And Monero has that use. Let's take a look and let's read here. It says Monero is an open source cryptocurrency created in April 2014 that focuses on fungibility and decentralization. Monero uses an obfuscated public ledger, meaning anybody can broadcast or send transactions, but no outside observer can tell the source or the amount or the destination. I mean, that's just a wonderful thing to be anti-bankers, anti-government. So it's going to make it. Monero's going to make it. It says Monero uses a proof of work mechanism to issue new coins, and so does Bitcoin. A proof of work, POW. That's what Bitcoin is. To issue new coins and incentivize miners to secure the network and validate transactions. The privacy afforded by Monero has attracted illicit use by people interested in invading law enforcement during events such as the WannaCry ransomware attack or the dark web buying illegal substances. This has been acknowledged by Monero and not entirely disavowed. In other words, Monero knows that people are using it for illicit things like money laundering, etc., etc., but they're kind of turning a blind eye to it. It says, but despite this, Monero is actively encouraged by those seeking financial privacy. Well, this is going to be, the whole world is going to be seeking financial privacy, because I'm going to tell you what, as this system, this monetary system goes down, the governments are greedier and greedier for every little thing that they can get. They're going to actually quite literally start, if they haven't already, I think they have already actually, but it's going to get a lot worse. They're going to start pulling people over on the side of the road as you're driving down the road, and they're going to say, how much money are you carrying on you? And you'll say, well, I got $300. And they'll say, give it to us. That's money laundering. They're just going to start taking your money. It's very similar to like in the old days, when you used to have the stagecoaches and stuff, in the old West, and you'd come around a corner, and two men would step out from behind two rocks, and they'd have guns, and they'd say, everybody get off board the stagecoach, and open up your pockets and let's see your wallets. A stagecoach robbery. And this is a similar thing where the governments are going to start actually travelers, anybody that's moving anywhere, they're going to start what they call cracking down on crime. They'll call it cracking down on crime, but essentially what it is right now, it's 10 grand if you're traveling anywhere. They've already put the bar in there. The bar is 10 grand. Well, they're just going to lower the bar. Right now it's 10 grand, soon it'll be 5 grand, and it'll be 2 grand. And as you have hyperinflation increasing, and inflation increasing, it's easier and easier to cross that bar line. And so in the end, you're not going to be able to carry any money with you. They'll be after your jewelry, any money, and you'll never get it back. It's like they'll stop you and they'll say, oh, that's a nice looking ring you have on there. Take it off. And we're going to weigh it. And they're going to say, it weighs 2 grams. That much gold is worth $8,000 now or whatever. This is the way we're going with hyperinflation, see? And then they're going to say, hey, you know what? You're over the limit. You're only allowed $2,000. And this is worth $8,000. We're keeping it. And you'll say, that's my grandmother's ring. She gave it to me, And they'll say, we don't care. We don't care. This is where we're going with this. And ultimately, if we don't do something, then people are just going to sit on their ass. Honest to God, they're going to sit on their ass and let this happen. You're going to be robbed. And you know who's going to rob you? Your own government. Because you got your head in that stupid cell phone and nobody's saying anything. And they've already got the bar in place, 10,000. They'll just lower the bar, 5,000. And look, when they lower the bar down to 5,000, listen, by that time, inflation will have doubled. So what's that 5,000 worth in buying power? When they lower it to 5,000, it'll only be worth what's equal to 2,000 now. See? And oftentimes, if you're going someplace, you need the equivalent buying power of $2,000. That's not ridiculous. That doesn't mean you're a money launderer. Just because you got $2,000 in your pocket doesn't mean you're a money launderer. It just means that you need to, say, pay for a motel for a night or whatever. Motel prices are going up. Soon it's going to be $2,000 for a motel for a night, for crying out loud, the way things are going. Honest to God. So I'm straying off my subject matter here. My subject matter is Monero, and Monero is going to offer you financial privacy. They're going to hate it because you can take your Monero coin wallet and you can break it down into 12 little words. You could take those 12 little words and you could fit them into a picture, or something like a picture, like just have the words like hidden in a picture or something, and have that picture on your cell phone, hidden in the bytes of the picture, hidden in the tiny little dots of the picture. So if the picture is blow it up, and you'd have your 12 little words there, and just take your 12 little words with you when you go someplace, and have your money in the Monero wallet in those 12 little words, and then they can. There's nothing. They won't be able to do anything. This is the new world we're heading into. So people that are using Monero are going to be covered, and they're going to say, "Hey, you know what? They can move money." Whereas these other, and this is going to be very popular when the government starts to bite for more money, money. You know why they're biting so hard for money? They can't even fill the frickin' potholes. They don't have any money. That's why they want it so bad. And it's going to be just like the French Empire back in the time of Marie Antoinette. They don't care about us. They're separate from us. They're living the high and mighty lifestyle. They say, "Oh, well, we can do whatever we want because we're the government. We're the lawmakers." And so it's just like Marie Antoinette. They said to her, "What about the poor people out there who are starving?" And she said, "Let them eat cake." That's how much sympathy they have for you. And you're going to struggle harder and harder in the next few years to try to survive. I'm struggling to survive. I can't. I notice a big change in the past 10 years. I used to have money. I don't have any money anymore. I mean, it just sucks out. It goes out of your wallet faster than you can see anything go because of the inflation level. And nothing. The amount of money coming in isn't changing. In fact, it's less. You get less money coming in and twice as much money going out. And we should be starting to get sick of it by now. Anyway, I've ranted a little bit. I'm going to say that Monero is going to be setting itself up, and it's going to be very popular in the end because it's practically invisible. They might try to stop it, but they're not going to be any more effective at trying to stop it or make it illegal than they are Bitcoin. In fact, that might make the price actually go up on Monero. If they attack Monero and say, "We got to get rid of it because of money laundering and whatever," one country will decide to get rid of it, and the other country it'll still be legal. And they're not going to be, the government is not unified worldwide every government is like separated by borders and their laws are different, and so they can't think evenly on anything. So really, to get rid of Monero entirely, all the governments on Earth would have to work in a unified way. They're not unified on anything. And so if a few governments try to make Monero illegal, Monero will just go underground. And it's the same way with Bitcoin. Bitcoin will go underground, and that'll just drive the price up even higher on these coins. It's not gonna get rid of them. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next show. Bye-bye for now.